Hello and welcome back to White Smart. Today we will be doing a newer video about Python. This is an interesting topic for me because I've used Python before and I decided it would be nice to make a tutorial on it because I have seen multiple things on the internet about Python and I decided I wanted to make like a simple how to use it kind of thing. Um, Classes and functions are a bit more advanced, so I'll go through that later in the video. If you want a certain thing and not like the most basic stuff, I will put timestamps down in the description. Let's get started with imports, which aren't the most basic thing, but you're going to want them. Imports can let you do just about anything from graphics to random numbers. This simple program I wrote here, will generate a random number and show it to you. In this case, the random number is 63. But next time it's 38. Built-in functions. So there things like if, elif, else. We'll start with if, elif, and else. If is just basic. If this, do this. Like the Scratch equivalent of if this, then whatever. Elif is else if. So if the if doesn't fit, then use else. Elif. And the else is if none of the above happen, then do that. So here we'll just run this program. It will generate a random number, which is 14, not 50. And is less than or equal to 50, which is true. So it worked. The print function. This just shows something on your display, in this case, hello world. Input allows you to take input from the user who's running the program. So if I type in hello, it will print out hello. These are the types of variables. A string is like words. An integer is a negative or positive number without a decimal. A float is a negative or positive number with a decimal. A list is a string, like a group of any other variable, which can be another list or a dictionary. And you call it with something like this, with a number. A dictionary is like an upgraded version of a list. And you call with something like this. So let's go more about strings. For strings, this is the most basic way to define a string. Then you can add things to the end. So in this case, it adds hello. So it adds white swine at the end. So it becomes hello white swine. Then there's input, which I discussed already. Then you can go from an integer or a float or just about any variable to a string. You can print the amount, or you can make a variable or print the amount of letters in a string. And you can use .format, which can change items in front of the string. So in this case, it will take white swine and stick it there. It'll take morning and stick it there. And it'll take 10 and stick it there. And then there is a simpler way of doing that. These two can do just about the same thing. But I find that this option is much easier. Okay, let's see the output. Well, first, basic just prints hello. Then hello white swine. Then input will say hello. The amount will go from 10 to integer 10 to the string 10. Then it will do len and tell you how many letters or numbers are in the string. It will be 2. Then dot format, hello white swine, I hope you have a great morning. Your lucky number is 10. Which is white swine, morning, 10. White swine, morning, 10. Which are exactly where these 3 were. So that's good. And then the last one is just the string plus hello, which can do basically the same thing as this. Okay, now integers and floats. So the 2 numbers. As with strings, the basic way to define them is basically the same. You can change integer from floats to integers, and from just like you can do the same thing, but it needs to be a number. So you can't like change a string of hello to an integer. That just won't work. It'll give you an error. But you can do something like this. But when you change a float to an integer, it won't round it. It'll just do this. And cut it off the ending. This is like plus equals. You can also obviously do normal addition without the equals. But this is basically float equals float plus 20.5. That's basically what that means. So this is just a simpler way to do that. You can do the same thing with subtraction, and then you can do loops. There are different loops that you can do differently, but this is like the most basic kind of loop. We'll go through this. The basic, the changing, which as I said, chopped off the 0.5, the plus equals, minus equals, and in range. Okay, this is list and dictionaries. So here's an example of a list and how you write one. Here's an example of a dictionary and how you write one. Here you can call using a number, as I said above. List with a number. And then you can do the same thing with a dictionary. But not with a number. With this key that calls it. So this will take, for those that made a random one, it will take a random one from here. In this case, it's 5.5. In the dictionary, it will take integer 1, which is 10. Now, here are some recommendations of what I think would be what you might like to do. This is kind of like a always first program. A lot of people will do that. These are a couple of simple things you can do, and here are a couple more complex things. So yeah, if you like this video, as always, sorry about that, I forgot about the functions in the classes. We'll start with the functions. The functions are basically a block of code. If you ever use Scratch, a function is like a my block. What a function does is it's a block of code, something like this, that does something. It can have an input, so you can pass it items. Yeah, this is a format of a basic one. But this does nothing. Nothing. That is because of the fact that you're defining it and not using it. Just like I said here. The program does not do anything because it just created the function. I did not use it. So if we do this and we'll say 1 and 1, it will tell me 1 plus 1 equals 2 because that's what it does. Now, for classes, which are much more complex than a function. A class is like I said here, like the parent of functions. A class can have several methods, which is a function within a class. That does several things. You always need an init function that has to be like this, and each function needs a self. This is like a calculator function. Sorry, class. Which again does nothing because, well, I'm not calling on the class. Here's an example of the class at work. So first it calls it init function, which is what it does when it first creates it. And it passes it num1 is 4, num2 is 5, and the operation is addition. Which, because of this, it will call on the addition thing, which will lead to here. So it will tell me what that is. And then I also told it to call the method from outside of the class. This last one, which is a strange one. Which, what it will do is it will add and subtract something. So, it did that. This is how you, as you might have noticed, this class makes kind of like a variable. And this is how you call class from outside. When you first initialize a class, it always runs an underscore init underscore function. And then whatever's in here, obviously. And then you can, from outside, call on another method. So yeah, as I said before, I will leave this in the description down below. I will leave a link to it. So yeah, if you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. What's one? Out.